hypostatic union is how you explain how Jesus can be fully human and fully divine. And it rules out some wrong answers. It's not like you got the two natures of Jesus just put into a blender. It's not like you take out Jesus's soul and replace it with a divine bit. It's not like the two natures are compartmentalized like, water and oil in a jar. What hypostatic union says is that Jesus has everything that is true of a person. He has everything that's true of a human being, and he has everything that is true of a divine being. And those two natures exist in his one person in a way that they are united but unmixed. Let me tell you a very funny true story. I was teaching some students of mine about the Council of Chalcedon in 451, where they developed a formula for explaining how Jesus was both divine and human, and how his human nature and his divine nature related together. They largely ruled out all of the wrong options, and they talked about how the two natures existed together, unmixed and without confusion, but nonetheless united. And I remember teaching some students about this, and this is called hypostatic union, by the way. And the students said to me, look, Professor Egghead, what has this got to do with anything? How is this going to make me a worship leader in a mega church? What is the practical application of knowing all this stuff? Hypostatic union or whatever it is. Well, it just so happens that same little student went on to a mission trip where they visited a mosque. And the imam at this mosque, he went and he quizzed all of the Christians who were there, and he asked them a question. And he asked this one particular student, he said, can you explain to me, how can Jesus be human and divine at the same time? And do you know what that student said? He said, have you ever heard of hypostatic union? The student who somewhat mocked me for teaching doctrines that did not seem particularly relevant found himself, in the real face of interfaith relations, doing evangelism in a type of, in a Muslim place where he had to explain Christian doctrine. Now, if he didn't know about hypostatic union, if he didn't know about the Council of Chalcedon, what would he have said? He either would have had to have pleaded ignorance or said something that was completely erroneous. That is why knowing doctrine, knowing Christology, knowing about the person and work of Christ really, really, really does matter.